10 o'clock news starts now.
If you name it, this guy's going to sell it when the Pope comes to visit, and you'll find out why he's really keeping his fingers crossed. The Pope is the spiritual leader for millions of Catholics, but he's also a celebrity. And when he arrives here next month, expect to see him on everything from TV to T-shirts. Christopher Jones reports.
When the Pope visits New York and New Jersey next month, it will be an occasion millions will never forget. And to help them remember, there will be ample opportunity to pick up official souvenirs of the Pontiff's trip. That's where this small factory in Newark comes in. This is the home of Robbie Promotionals. Today, the company started the first runs of the machines that will turn out the tens of thousands of T-shirts, sweatshirts, caps, and other memorabilia that will be available in New York and New Jersey.
The hat is a very contemporary, youth-orientated, two-tone pro style.
How many of these do you think you can sell?
We are hoping 20 to 45,000 pieces.
At what price?
That is still up in the air.
But you can figure around $16 per cap. What else will be available?
We have a wonderful papal calendar, which was taken by a Polish photographer who is a dear friend of Pope John Paul's. We've got an official papal crucifix with a papal logo for the Holy Rosaries, which were specifically made for this event. We have approximately 55,000 per each event.
And the list goes on. Sweatshirts, books, audio tapes and cassettes, CDs, videotapes. There's even going to be bottled water. No, not holy water, drinking water. And the most expensive souvenir at a price yet to be determined, a sterling silver medallion. The company has waited until the last minute to start producing many of these items. Last year, they were also the official Pope Trip souvenir folks. And last year, they had their merchandise, but they didn't have the Pope.
We're nervous in the fact that last year we had made all the items up and we were ahead of schedule, and the Pope got sick and canceled.
And that cancellation cost the company a reported $500,000.
When the Pope is here in October, there will be plenty of time for religious devotions and prayers. But right now, no one is praying harder than they are right here at Robbie Promotional, praying that this time the Pope will show up. Christopher Jones, Fox News.
And in case it rains, the company says it will be ready with 35,000 ponchos and an equal number of umbrellas, all with the appropriate Pope logo. And don't forget to watch Fox News for complete coverage of the Pope's visit, beginning with his arrival in Newark October 4th.
Ben & Jerry's is coming out with a line of Popsicles. You know that?
You're watching NBC4, the Tri-State News Channel. And now, Sue Simmons, Matt Lauer, Al Roker, and Len Berman. This is News Channel 4, live at 5.
Well, the faithful are waiting anxiously for the Pope's arrival in our area next month. So are souvenir makers. New Jersey reporter Ben Farnsworth checked out some of the papal paraphernalia for us.
Pope John Paul II T-shirts, His Holiness hats, papal posters, even videos of the vicar. Next month, the leader of the Roman Catholic Church comes to Newark and New York City, and the marketing machinery is ready.
Pope John Paul has a magnitude that, quite honestly, is unparalleled.
Robert Viliani has contracts with the Archdiocese of Newark and New York to provide memorabilia. His company, Robbie Promotional Advertising, has developed papal products ranging from rosaries to silver medallions.
We have the Pope's sanctioned by the Vatican Holy Rosary. We hear there are 250,000 requests already. It should go gold. Michael Jackson, eat your heart out.
There's even a Pope phone card, 40 minutes of long-distance calls nationwide. Higher connections require prayer. T-shirts will go for about $20, sweatshirts $25, Catholic calendars $15, and all the holidays are listed. Too much merchandising for a spiritual visit? The church says it's needed to pay the bills.
The reason the Archdiocese is involved with the merchandise is to help defray the cost of the event. The expense, as I understand it, will be approximately $1.1 million.
Robert Viliani says he lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in merchandise when the Pope had to cancel last year. He says he's a practicing Catholic and is eager to see the Holy Father and prays there's no cancellation.
I say 3 Hail Marys for our fathers.
The Pope is bigger than sports stars, movie stars, even rock stars. At a concert, only 4 out of 10 people buy the merchandise. At the Pope's Mass in Giant Stadium, they expect 7 out of 10 people to go home with some piece of papal memorabilia. In Newark, I'm Ben Farnsworth, News Channel 4.
Well, money from the souvenir sales will go toward covering costs of the Pope's visit, as they mentioned.
That's right.
is Channel 2 News at 5.
Pope John Paul II will address the United Nations when he visits our area beginning October 4th. But today he's on the final leg of his African trip in Kenya. He made an emotional appeal to the people of Burundi and Rwanda to settle their ethnic conflicts, which have claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. The Pope returns to Rome tomorrow. Meantime, people in our area are preparing for his visit next month, including the merchants who will be selling Pope souvenirs. Channel 2's Roseanne Coletti has more on the market for memorabilia.
Papal t-shirts, anyone? They're stamping them out faster than you can, well, say John Paul. Or perhaps you'd prefer a baseball cap with an embroidered picture of the pontiff on the crown. You guessed it, the official memorabilia for the upcoming visit of Pope John Paul II is now officially on sale. The first location, this single kiosk at Jersey City's Newport Center Mall.
All of the items for New Jersey this year were approved by the Archbishop's Committee, and we feel that they are quality items and they show dignity to the Holy Father.
We found a story behind almost every product, too. For example, in this poster, the color of the pontiff's vestments had to be changed from purple to green to coincide with the church calendar for this time of year. And guess what else?
And we fixed his hair because they were all over the place, you know, so we're going to give him a haircut.
These watches are designed to give off what you might describe as a little heavenly glow so that you can read them at night.
The watch is a message, once received, that you always wear.
Take a look at this one. It's still blank. That's because they've waited until the last minute to begin actual production on a lot of these items, just in case the pontiff's visit has to be canceled. If you recall, the 75-year-old pontiff was scheduled to visit the New York area just last year, but that was canceled at the last minute because of illness. So what if that happens again?
We cannot have a what if. There are no what ifs. I'll become an Episcopalian and get out of the business.
Why all this commercial activity for a religious event?
We have an invoice looking at approximately $1.1 million, and this is a way to help defray that cost of hosting the event.
Now that's just the New Jersey leg of the visit alone. Do you have to spend a lot of money for a souvenir? No, you can purchase something as simple as a pin or a bookmark for about $2 to $3. We should point out the items are now on sale in New Jersey, but they will not be sold here in New York until the time of the actual papal visit. Michelle,
I'm
John?
going to have to get a few souvenirs there. And there's a telephone calling card, I understand?
There is, and it entitles you to, I think, about $40 worth of phone time anywhere in domestic United States. So you can't call the Vatican. You can only call domestically. But telephone cards have become collectibles, as you well know, so I imagine there will be a picture of the Pope on it, yes.
Great, thanks.
Thanks.
From New York City's only all-news channel, this is New York One, news all evening.
Pope doesn't get to New York until October 4th, but the marketing of the event is already in full swing. New York One's Adele San Marco has the story.
When the Pope comes to town, Catholics in our area will be well prepared and well outfitted. Robbie Promotions, an advertising distribution factory in Newark, New Jersey, is mass-producing Pope memorabilia by the thousands, all in anticipation of the Pontiff's arrival.
We've got everything that it's going to take to help commemorate the Holy Father visiting the Big Apple, wholeheartedly. We're also well aware of the socio-economic demographics of the actual event.
That's right, you heard it. Robbie's got Pope t-shirts, sweats, caps, bookmarks, calendars, watches, videotapes, cassettes, CDs, and yes, even bottled water. The papal items will be sold at Central Park, Yonkers, and the Meadowlands, the locations where Pope John Paul II will say Mass. Robbie Promotions had won the right to mass-produce papal souvenirs for the Pope's '94 visit. But then the Pope fell ill and canceled the trip and left Robbie with up to $500,000 in losses. Now Robbie says he's insured.
So the bottom line is we're going to grin and bear it. We're going to gut it out. We do believe that the Holy Father is coming. Again, normally at this time, we would have been done manufacturing everything. Literally, we just started.
The mass marketing of papal goods will attract young and old audiences alike. Prices will range from $2 for a pin to about $35 for an embroidered sweatshirt. Items like papal phone cards for long-distance calls would run you about 20 bucks. Robbie estimates at least $5 million in proceeds will be made from the Pope's Central Park visit, at least $2 million at the Meadowlands, and $500,000 from Yonkers. The money will go towards the Archdiocese of New York and New Jersey, Robbie Promotions, and all the vendors selling the goods.
We're going to have kiosks set up where we'll be selling papal products such as T-shirts, hats, videos, and rosary beads. 20% of the proceeds will be going to the Catholic Church.
The Brooklyn Diocese, which is sponsoring the Mass at Aqueduct Racetrack with the Knights of Columbus, is not part of the contract with Robbie Promotions. But you don't even have to be a Catholic to get caught up in the excitement surrounding the papal visit.
I happen, obviously, I'm Jewish, and I happen not to believe in the Catholic religion, but, I'm extremely honored to be part of such a big person, a big player in the Catholic religion as the Pope. And it gives me, like I say, great honor and privilege to be working with someone as a figure and a role model for other people.
Adele Samarco, New York 1.
This is NJN News with Kent Manahan, Dick Forney with business, and Pat Scanlon with sports.
It's 2 weeks and counting until the Pope visits New Jersey, but the souvenirs went on sale today. As Trish DeGasperis reports, officials say it's a great way to promote the event and defray the cost to the Archdiocese.
It was the official unveiling today of the official Pope memorabilia. These are the items sanctioned by either the Newark or New York Archdiocese. And while some of the souvenirs aren't exactly sacrosanct, the promoters say they're not tacky.
Each and every product which we have put forth as a papal souvenir has been done with distinguished good taste. Some of them are even a little understated.
There is something for everyone, whether it's rosary beads or mineral water with the papal seal. No, it's not holy water. Or this light-up watch made by a Brooklyn company.
We hooked up with Robbie at Robbie Promotion, and we tried to come up with a watch that would reflect and emphasize the message that the Pope brings to New York. And it's basically...
And New Jersey.
And New Jersey, I'm sorry.
And if your friends or family simply don't have access to the Pope memorabilia, you can always call them on the phone and tell them about it with your papal phone card.
The Newark and New York Archdiocese needed a way to defray the costs of the Pope's visit, which will be about $5 million. Officials thought that souvenirs would do it. And most, but not all, people that we spoke with today thought the papal souvenirs were a great idea.
That's what I came down specifically to spread something. I was looking for sweatshirts or T-shirts for the kids and all.
The Pope, he symbolized a religious person, and if selling things in his honor, I don't think that's right.
I'll buy a T-shirt.
The official souvenirs will be sold at 13 malls around New Jersey, as well as at the Giant Stadium event. Trish DeGasperis, NJN News, Jersey City.
Good morning once again, and welcome to the second hour of Good Day New York. Well, in preparation for the Pope's arrival, merchandisers are gearing up for the very heavy demand for Pope souvenirs. Dick Oliver takes a look at one very busy factory.
Like cars on the streets of the Big Apple, the machines at Robbie Promotional Advertising are on a mission. Robbie Promotional is the official merchant of souvenirs for Pope John Paul's visit to the U.S., and boy, are they busy. And why are they so busy? We've all known about the Pope's upcoming October visit for quite some time now, but due to the Pope's cancellation last year, Robbie Promotional was stuck with 45,000 T-shirts and thousands of pins like this one, stamped with a 1994 date. So this year they've waited till the last minute.
It was a horror story. I literally lost 4 years of life. Nevertheless, we continued. We're an aggressive firm. We would not, in essence, be defeated. but it was a shock.
Owner Robert Villani is also on a mission. We caught up with him as he sped through the factory, making sure workers kept up with their tight production schedules.
No problems. Here we go. Get ready. Pope John Paul. Pick it up.
Cans of paint and T-shirts galore. That's all this screen printing press needs to deliver 15,000 T-shirts each day, completely sealed with the Pope's image.
Never will there be an event like this. You have to realize one thing. This campaign is about the Holy Father. This campaign is about helping defray the cost of what it's actually costing the Archdiocese of New York and New Jersey.
In addition to embroidering hats and printing T-shirts, Robbie will sell items provided by outside vendors, such as a color picture book of Pope John Paul, papal coin collections, the Pope's Papal Rosary CD single, calendars, phone cards, commemorative bottled water, rosary beads, and posters. Although the Archdiocese gets royalties on everything sold, Robbie stands to make a great deal of money.
If we do this properly, this could, in all honesty, double our gross revenues. We will not cheapen this whatsoever. If it was a situation to just get rich quickly, this could have been the world's largest flea market. But the bottom line is we are intent upon doing this in good faith, no pun intended.
So as the clock continues to tick and the Pope's arrival gets closer, Robert Villani and his partner Ernest Rica keep the machines rolling and the workers going in anticipation of one of the greatest holy events in America.
To be perfectly honest with you, this is Pope John Paul. This is not a rock and roll band. This is not a Giants-Dallas game. This is not a Knick game. This is the Holy Father, Pope John Paul, and we're very, very proud to be associated with it.
Well, up next...
Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of Extra. I'm David Rose.
And I'm Maureen O'Boyle.
Welcome back to Extra. I'm David Rose.
And I'm Maureen O'Boyle. New York's John Cardinal O'Connor won't give his blessing to the sale of souvenirs surrounding Pope John Paul II's visit to the Big Apple on Wednesday. Vendors are praying the pontiff brings them goodwill and plenty of business. He may be the best-known person on the planet. Hundreds of millions follow his every word. As a result, from a merchandising standpoint, no one is hotter than Pope John Paul II.
We have the Vatican Papal Coin Collection. We have the logoed bottle of water with the Papal coat of arms. We will bring out the Pope John Paul T-shirt, which we have made an abundance of.
Robert Villani is also hoping to make an abundance of money during the papal visit to New York, New Jersey, and Maryland next month. He's been authorized by the Catholic Church to push Pope products and share the profits with them.
We will not have the popsicles or the pontiff hat or the ridiculous merchandise, which I think is extremely demeaning to the Catholic Church.
But what about those who say any profiting on the pontiff is demeaning? Claudia McDonald, who writes for Catholic New York, says people must understand that the local archdiocese has to foot the huge cost of the visit and that money has to come from somewhere.
This isn't a profit-making venture. It's not an attempt to cash in on the Pope's visit. It's really an attempt to offset costs that would hit the archdiocese hard.
So how does the idea hit New Yorkers?
I think this is funny. I think this is funny. Bottled water. This is out of control.
Just merchandising. That's America at its worst.
Well, even religion needs to, I guess, muster up money from somewhere. You know, there's always two ways to look at it.
Critics aside, Villani has invested over $500,000 in 17 Pope products to be sold at every outdoor venue he attends.
The Catholic Church wants to do this in good faith, and I say that no pun intended.
The Pope's visit to Denver in 1993 cost at least $4.5 million, and 100 church-approved items were sold to help pay for it.
Boy, talk about a papal plethora of products.
This is the Tri-State Area's news leader, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, with Sarah Wallace, Mark Stevens with sports, Veronica Johnson with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast, and the Eyewitness News team. Now, Eyewitness News.
When Pope John Paul II says Mass in Central Park next week, he will have his own special place to rest and change clothes, a papal home in the park. And it came rolling into town early this morning. This manufactured home will be the Pope's sacristy, or changing room. A Prattsville manufacturer donated the building. The papal visit is also prompting a big push to provide mementos for the Pope's devoted fans. Greg Hurst explains in our special report.
You wouldn't know it, but behind the walls of this nondescript warehouse in Newark is an operation that is producing some $5 million worth of official souvenirs for Pope John Paul II's visit.
This is a special edition shirt that's being done for a Vatican products company. These are sweatshirts that are basically done. They're going to be trimmed and then packed up and put into inventory.
We should have 20 to 25,000 sweatshirts, 45,000 baseball caps. We also plan on doing 100,000 buttons.
Not to mention the 80,000 T-shirts and the Pope water, which is, by the way, not holy water, and Pope medallions and Pope CDs and Pope calendars and Pope glow-in-the-dark watches and Pope picture books. And wait, because there's more.
We have the commemorative rosary beads with the official papal crucifix, which has come out of Rome. We have 65,000 of these to be sold, and it also has the commemorative Pope John Paul insignia. We have our button. We have a video which celebrates Mass throughout the entire globe.
The New York Archdiocese approved all of these products, so you won't see anything outrageous such as
ridiculous Pope sunglasses, ridiculous Pope hats, ridiculous beyond the realm of ridiculous. We did not get Pope soap on a rope this year. I think they knew better. We put the word out early. No nonsense products.
What about Pope Pogs? Well, they may seem nonsensical to some, but they are being put out by the Camden Diocese. The diocese wanted to give something special to its kids to remember the Pope's visit. So it ordered up 200,000 Pogs, marking the major stops on his tour. Greg Hurst, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Something for everybody.
This is an Eyewitness News special presentation. The papal visit of John Paul II. Now, Eyewitness News anchors Bill Butel and Roz Abrams.
The Pope's visit will provide a lifetime of memories for the faithful. And for those who want a reminder of this week, there is a big and a very creative push to provide mementos for the Pope's followers. Greg Hurst has that story.
You wouldn't know it, but behind the walls of this nondescript warehouse in Newark is an operation that is producing some $5 million worth of official souvenirs for Pope John Paul II's visit.
We should have 20 to 25,000 sweatshirts, 45,000 baseball caps.
Not to mention the 80,000 T-shirts and the Pope water, which is, by the way, not holy water, and Pope medallions and Pope CDs and Pope calendars and Pope glow-in-the-dark watches and Pope picture books. And wait, because there's more.
We have the commemorative rosary beads with the official papal crucifix, which has come out of Rome. We have 65,000 of these to be sold, and it also has the commemorative Pope John Paul insignia. We have our button. We have a video which celebrates Mass throughout the entire globe.
The New York Archdiocese approved all of these products, so you won't see anything outrageous such as
ridiculous Pope sunglasses, ridiculous Pope hats. We did not get Pope soap on a rope this year. I think they knew better. We put the word out early. No nonsense products.
What about Pope Pogs? Well, they may seem nonsensical to some, but they are being put out by the Camden Diocese. The diocese wanted to give something special to its kids to remember the Pope's visit. So it ordered up 200,000 Pogs, marking the major stops on his tour. Greg Hurst, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Pope John Paul II's visit to our area officially begins tomorrow, and we're going to bring it to you live.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Wake Up. I'm Dick Oliver. Let's take a look at what's making news right now. Well, from buttons to books to bottled water, here's a look at why papal supporters and souvenirs are a big business deal for one merchandising company. Like cars on the streets of the Big Apple, the machines at Robbie Promotional Advertising are on a mission. Robbie Promotional is the official merchant of souvenirs for Pope John Paul's visit to the U.S., and boy, are they busy. And why are they so busy? We've all known about the Pope's visit for quite some time now, but due to the Pope's cancellation last year, Robbie Promotional was stuck with 45,000 T-shirts and thousands of pins like this one, stamped with a 1994 date. So this year they've waited till the last minute.
It was a horror story. I literally lost 4 years of life. Nevertheless, we continued. We're an aggressive firm. We would not, in essence, be defeated, but it was a shock.
Owner Robert Villani is also on a mission. We caught up with him as he sped through the factory, making sure workers kept up with their tight production schedules.
No problems. Here we go. Get ready. Pope John Paul. Pick it up.
Cans of paint and T-shirts galore. That's all this screen printing press needs to deliver 15,000 T-shirts each day, completely sealed with the Pope's image.
Never will there be an event like this. You have to realize one thing. This campaign is about the Holy Father. This campaign is about helping defray the cost of what it's actually costing the Archdiocese of New York and New Jersey.
In addition to embroidering hats and printing T-shirts, Robbie will sell items provided by outside vendors, such as a color picture book of Pope John Paul, papal coin collections, the Pope's Papal Rosary CD single, calendars, phone cards, commemorative bottled water, rosary beads, and posters. Although the Archdiocese gets royalties on everything sold, Robbie stands to make a great deal of money.
If we do this properly, this could, in all honesty, double our gross revenues. We will not cheapen this whatsoever. If it was a situation to just get rich quickly, this could have been the world's largest flea market. But the bottom line is we are intent upon doing this in good faith, no pun intended.
So as the clock continues to tick, Robert Villani and his partner Ernest Rica keep the machines rolling and the workers going in anticipation of one of the greatest holy events in America.
To be perfectly honest with you, this is Pope John Paul. This is not a rock and roll band. This is not a Giants-Dallas game. This is not a Knick game. This is the Holy Father, Pope John Paul, and we're very, very proud to be associated with it.
And I've got my own papal button right here for today and tomorrow.
Packs winds up to 150 miles per hour.
Tonight,
all we can do is pray to God.
a special live 48 hours. First,
I'm scared. I need to get out of town.
Hurricane Opal. And,
ladies and gentlemen,
he's arrived.
Pope John Paul II.
I'm excited to see the stadium, to see the Pope.
I just want to meet him.
We'll take you behind the scenes.
This robe, no other pope has worn this robe.
Si.
With the man from Rome.
Brother Mario does a lot of the packing.
I am praying that he gets here.
Who would have thought you'd come to New York?
Not a lot of people come over here to New York City and preach.
God bless you all.
Tonight, join Dan Rather with correspondents Harold Dow, Bill Lagatuna, Aaron Moriarty, Richard Schlesinger, and Susan Spencer. Hours, faith and fury. From New York, here is Dan Rather.
When this special live edition of 48 Hours continues.
These are the three-dimensional bookmarks. They're doing very well in the carts at the malls.
One man who considers the Pope's visit a blessing.
I have a chill up and down my back.
But not for the reason you may think.
We could gross $500,000.
That's the Pope's face in the middle.
Yes. Real numbers, R-E-A-L, real numbers, okay? So it's kind of life and death. I need real numbers. I need Giant Stadium in my possession.
For Robbie Villani, the papal visit is a battle.
Every day is war. They're just like, cut the nonsense, get it together, because I'm ready to blow my top. Everyone ready now?
His mission?
You're going to have 20,000 beautiful papal calendars. Listen, they're doing very well in the carts at the malls.
Selling the official Pope's souvenirs.
I try not to refer to this as souvenirs. They're more or less mementos, okay?
Lots of mementos.
This is the official papal crucifix, a two-tone baseball cap. We have our spot watch. It glows in the dark.
That's the Pope's face in the middle.
These are the three-dimensional bookmarks, and this is our commemorative medallion. This is my lucky one.
You expect to move a lot of these?
It is selling well in the New Jersey malls. Let me give him $1,000 to get started.
It's a big job.
You need $50,000. All right, Donna, write him a check. I mean, it's an $86,000 day. Aaron, I got to move. Call Hong Kong. I need to know real numbers. Tell him Robbie, and it is life and death. Just do me a favor. Start it up. Let's go.
When the Pope canceled his trip last year, Villani was stuck with 100,000 T-shirts.
They are in purgatory right now, okay?
This time, nobody is praying harder. The Pope stays in good health.
I am praying that he gets here. Can you imagine if it's a day like this? We're a week ahead of time. Last year, we were a month ahead of time. So there's still a little anxiety left.
A week before the papal visit, and Robbie Villani is more nervous than a priest saying Mass for the first time.
I'm nervous as hell.
What could go wrong at this point?
Everything. Rain. Non-attendance, non-buyers. Just pass it around. I want everyone to get used to the merchandise and see that we are not selling junk.
The Pope may be here to save souls, but Robbie Villani is interested in the almighty dollar.
I think we can make decent money.
$500,000?
Listen, we could gross $500,000. You know, if everything hits on all 12 cylinders. We need to sell a lot. We want to sell all of the merchandise. But thank God we're doing this for all the right reasons. You know,
for a guy who started out selling T-shirts from the back of his car, this is the deal of a lifetime.
There must be a God above that says, Rob, I think you're doing it the right way.
By now, it should be clear this Pope on tour has become a genuine superstar. If there's any doubt, just stop in at your local record store. Somewhere between Michael Jackson and 9 Inch Nails, you'll find this. John Paul, the CD.
We might have to hang that one over the top.
Okay, we all ready to talk about the Rosary project?
Duncan Hutcherson is a record company executive who's handled a lot of big names, but none with a following like this.
Who's going to be buying this CD?
There are 7 different language versions of it, so we're looking for the broadest possible spectrum.
The Almighty has done great things among us.
The church believes by the end of the year, the Pope CD will go gold.
Amen.
Speaking of which, the Vatican has authorized a line of jewelry that's being sold at Macy's and other department stores.
And you can create sets where you can have a necklace and an earring to match, and it's beautiful.
Do you think women are going to be standing in line to get the latest Vatican set of earrings?
Well, I hope so. That's just tasteless, I think.
Mary Louise Hartman heads a Catholic reform group that thinks the Pope shouldn't be sold at retail.
The Pope is not someone who should be sold. He is a religious figurehead, and much more reverence should be given to his visiting any country, and it makes it into a Disney World kind of event.
Bring them all over. Bring Lukey's over. I totally disagree with those people. This is an event. You know, you have the Pope, probably the most recognizable figure on the globe, guaranteed, coming to New York City, and people wonder why it's a big deal. I don't think that the church, nor Robbie Promotional, or religion as a whole should be chastised because mementos are being sold.
With the enormous cost of the visit estimated at $5 million, the church is counting on its official vendors to help defray costs.
We don't have time. She told me an hour ago.
It's now a day before the big event, and word has just reached Robbie that the Pope's plane is in the air.
Today is the unload for Giant Stadium. Getting close, getting a little nervous, but I think we'll be all right.
Nervous, but looking heavenward. Actually, toward all those seats.
A lot of people capable of buying, that's for sure.
In the end, for Robbie Villani, Pope John Paul II could be a godsend.
We feel very confident that because of the Holy Father's magnitude, it should be 2 to 3 sales per person. And looking around, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I have a chill up and down my back This is part of history. We're very appreciative to be a part of it. But I think 2 to 3 items per person would be a safe call.
Robbie Villani's prayers for good weather were answered with a rainstorm, caused partly by the storm down south. The New York area was soaked, but despite that, his mementos moved at a brisk pace. The rain failed to dampen sails or spirits, but for some, seeing the pontiff required more than patience and a poncho. As Harold Dow reports, it didn't hurt to have a little luck.
All over New Jersey, they're singing a similar song. They're singing.
I love to praise his name.
It gets you excited. It's a very moving experience.
And praying.
Holy Mary, Mother of God. You're praying how your name gets picked?
For tickets to the only event in town.
It's very hard. You can't get them.
Which is why church officials decided a lottery was just the ticket. The prize? Passes for tonight's Mass at Giant Stadium to see Pope John Paul II.
Some people are going to win and some are not.
Go over the left, do with your left.
The competition is tough, but John McKeon and his family from Walwick won't give up.
Right now, nail it, nail it. Good hit, good hit.
Some might say, why go to Giant Stadium? You'll be there with 88,000 plus people, and that could become a hassle.
There's nothing like being in there. And the music, I can't wait to hear the music. I'm sure that some of the choirs are working their tails off.
I'm excited to see the stadium, to see the Pope, to see and to sing for God, and to hopefully please the Pope in that process.
I must tell Jesus.
Damon Owens, part of the choir at Blessed Sacrament Church in Newark, is singing a solo at the Mass. But right now, he has only one thing in mind: getting his wife a ticket to be there.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime event for me.
The Pope is a big-ticket item everywhere. For Saturday's Mass at Central Park, not even Cardinal John O'Connor can help.
Yes, it's as big as anything that New York has seen. It's just mammoth. It's indescribable.
I would guess that for every ticket we were able to give out, that there were 10 people waiting in line to get that one ticket.
Heaven help the McKeon family. They need 7 tickets.
Well, I'm not even sure how they pick it.
It's a lottery. You pick your name out of a hat.
What makes him so special? Can you put it into words?
He's a people's pope.
He's a people's pope?
He's a person. He's not just a figure. He's not just a leader. He's a person who cares about others.
Obviously, some people are going to be disappointed that their name wasn't selected, but that's the chance of the lottery.
The next winner is Frank McGraw. Mary Brown.
It happened.
Really?
Joan and John McKeon and family. So.
Luck was on the McKeon side. Theirs was the last card drawn.
Yvonne Hopkins.
And at Blessed Sacrament Church in Newark.
Melanie Owen.
Now I get to go see the Pope. I get to hear my husband sing.
You're the laughter that shatters all my fears.
Answered prayers. Tonight, 2 families are counting their blessings.
You are why I find pleasure in the simple things in life. You're the music in the meadows and the streams.
Whenever you see one, you know the other is out there somewhere. Arturo Mari, official Vatican photographer for 40 years now.
I love my work. I love to Pope.
Row upon row in his archives is filled with magic moments of queens and mere first ladies, of heads of state and those who wanted to be. Pictures, in fact, of anyone at all lucky enough to meet the Pope. Anyone at all. After audiences, people pack Mari's studio searching for proof it really happened.
You look at the expression of the Pope.
But it's not pictures of the visitors that adorn Mari's walls.
You are allowed into some of the most private moments of this Pope.
For me,
Do you feel privileged?
my work is a special moment.
It is something very personal for me, he says. A job, he adds, that he does with his heart.
What does this picture say to you?
Che gli dice questa foto di importante a te?
Tutto.
Everything.
Tutto. This America Latina,
He has been on every trip Pope John Paul II has made.
Africa, Grotta di Lourdes, Papua New Guinea, Korea.
His lens has seen it all.
This is a side of the Pope that most people never see.
Togo. That dress there is the dress of the king of the boys of Togo, Africa.
Mari says he doesn't think the Pope ever tires of him taking his picture, and he clearly never tires of his subject.
What does the Pope's visit mean for American women? We'll have two answers that are surprising and very different. That and more a little later, but next, after the hurricane, picking up the pieces.
In New York, this is the Channel 11 News at 10 with Guidey Tom, Jack Cafferty, Sal Marciano Sports, and Mr. G Weather.
Well, the Pope may be gone, but it's not too late to pick up a souvenir of his trip. All that papal paraphernalia was apparently not quite as popular as vendors had hoped, and now they're trying to unload the leftovers. New Jersey correspondent Roger Stern has a story.
Just keep counting, put it back, phone cards over here. There's nothing you're going to be able to do.
Today, Robbie Villani is counting his unsold merchandise as an auditor stands watching to make sure the Archdiocese, entitled to a percentage of what was actually sold, gets its fair cut. Villani, the sole merchandiser for this visit's papal souvenirs, was counting on larger crowds at Central Park, his biggest venue. Instead, he has trucks of unsold goods. Did you take a bath or did you make a profit?
Don't know yet. Numbers are still counted. I don't think we took a bath. We also have a tremendous aftermarket program in effect, and sales are going very, very well.
The T-shirts and hats sold well, but security procedures in the park made it difficult to restock sold-out merchandise. And without hot weather, the papal bottled water didn't jump off the shelf. The papal phone calling cards he doesn't know about, but the Pope's book, not a good seller. In all, Robbie Villani and his partner manufactured $5 million worth of papal memorabilia. They still don't know, or they're not saying, just how much of that actually came back.
Robbie Promotional.
They're still taking orders over the phone, and the calls are coming in.
Okay, and your first name? Okay, and your address?
And they're still selling souvenirs at shopping malls like Newport Center in Jersey City, where sales are brisk. Are you buying anything here?
Well, we're looking. Probably will end up buying something, I'm sure.
Villani, who lost money after the Pope canceled his first New Jersey visit, isn't giving up. He wants to keep selling this stuff until Christmas. Any idea the Pope ever saw the souvenirs, the T-shirts, or the bottled water, or the calling cards?
I heard that he was showed, that he did chuckle, and I have to assume that he approved.
For the thousands of people who saw the pontiff, John Paul enriched the spirit. Robbie Villani hopes he has enriched something else. In Newark, Roger Stern for the Channel 11 News at 10.
This is Channel 2 News at 6.
The Pope is back at home at the Vatican, but the emotional connection he made to the people in our area is still very much with us. Channel 2's Roseanne Coletti tells us business is booming because people want to hold on to their memories of the Pope.
For most people, a papal visit is a once-in-a-lifetime, if ever, event. But the New York area has had 2 papal visits from John Paul II. So you'd think purchasing a memento or souvenir during the 3-day event wouldn't be such a big deal anymore. Wrong.
Hey, souvenirs right here!
The Pope's visit may be over, but we found out the enthusiasm for his visit isn't.
People still seem to be looking for a tangible connection or reminder of the very charismatic figure. This small cart selling papal souvenirs at Jersey City's Newport Center is doing more business than ever.
I'm looking for a gift for a friend. Possibly the rosary, a tape of the rosary, or I was thinking about his book.
And it's not just local traffic. The mall's management office has been inundated with calls from all over the country.
Asking our employees if they can go downstairs to buy the merchandise and mail it to them wherever they are in the country. Unfortunately, we can't accommodate those calls.
The company coordinating the sale of all Pope merchandise for both the Newark and New York archdioceses say they never anticipated aftermarket sales.
There's not one item that is not being asked about. The phone cards, the watches, the bookmarks.
And it's not just John Paul memorabilia either. Some religious bookstores tell us there seems to be a renewed interest in spiritual subject matter overall.
Even today, we're still feeling it. The people are still coming in here asking things for the Pope on his books and all. It's left a tremendous impact.
Think it was something the Pope said? I don't know. Robbie Promotions tells us they expect John Paul's souvenirs to be selling until Christmas, and they say they may take out newspaper ads to let people know how they can order.
Versus calling all the people in the mall and having them
having them go down in their lunch hour to make a purchase.
Okay, thanks, Roseanne.
Thank you.